welcome Mr. Sabyascahi Hajara. He is the industry doyen and Varuna Award receiver. He's a former CMD SCI, so I would actually pay a huge respect and come over to you, sir, to take you to the podium.
Very good afternoon, Mr. Shan Jagannathan, the Director General of Shipping and Chief Guest of today's program. Many of my friends, I won't dare to try naming them because then the budget of time will get completely haywire. And all other participants in this session, it's my pleasure and privilege to be here amidst you and to speak to all of you and give some of my thoughts. But I must mention that this was totally unexpected. And you can vouch for that because I saw a printed schedule where my name was nowhere there. But I think while thanking Shaukat for this wonderful opportunity, I think he's thought that this person, old man, has come all the way from Kolkata. I should allow him to go get scot-free. I should make him speak. And as they say, there are no free lunches. Of course, he didn't serve us lunch. But I am definitely hoping that he will serve us a good dinner. So that's why I couldn't even refuse. As customary for me, of course, Mahendra has already done that. But I have, since I am speaking well after him, I have no option to repeat. I have no option but to repeat. As customary for me, any maritime event, or for that matter, any event where I am asked to speak, first and foremost, I pay tribute, I salute all the seafarers. Because as Mahendra said, it was shipping and particularly the seafarers which kept the world moving during the recent pandemic. Of course, we must pay tribute to all the frontline workers, be they be municipal workers, government servants, bank workers, doctors, paramedics. But I still would say that I pay a special salute to the seafarers because it was only them who were working most of the time thousands of miles apart from their home and family without many times, at least in the initial stage, even knowing how their near and dear ones are coping up with the situation back at home. But nevertheless, they kept the world moving. As has already been said by some of the previous speakers, shipping unfortunately is not well appreciated, at least to the extent that it contributes to the global citizens and the world at large. Two aspects of shipping I would like to highlight. Of course, I keep repeating my good old friend, Eftimos Metropolis, who was erstwhile IMO Secretary General. He said once a very famous statement that but for shipping, half the world would starve because the food grains, everything, processed foods, everything gets shipped across the seas because 90% by volume of international trade gets moved by sea. And the balance half also would not survive because they would freeze. Because again, all the energy constituents, be it crude oil, thermal coal, everything again gets mostly transported by sea. But I always add one more line to it, and I must say that I haven't heard before me, and I started talking about this maybe a few decades back. Before that I haven't come across. I also say that but for shipping, our mother planet Earth would have become uninhabitable by humanity long time back. Because shipping in terms of pollution, be it carbon footprint or be it the greenhouse gas emission, is by far the most environmentally friendly mode of transport. We emit maybe about 1/6 vis-a-vis road transport in terms of carbon footprint, about 40% or thereabout of railway. And of course, aviation doesn't figure, because they are maybe 100 times more polluted than shipping. Water transport is by far the most environmentally friendly mode of transport, and it's also by far, at least for long haul, homogeneous bulk cargo, it is by far the most economic mode of transport. Our erstwhile Honorable Minister Gadkari was very fond of saying this, that if it costs per ton kilometer about 1 rupee 50 paisa per road, it costs about 75 paisa for railways and 25 paisa for water transport. And as I say, aviation doesn't figure because that's far, far more expensive. So shipping, of course, is something which, and I also quote this, that when I started shipping only little over 5 decades back, I joined SCI in 1973. So when I started shipping, we used to be told that for low value cargo like coal, oil, the sea freight is about 40% of the landed cost, because most of the time they used to be transported over long haul. So about the sea freight itself constitutes nearly 40% of the landed cost. Today, if you calculate, it will come to maybe 4 to 6%. One, the commodity prices have gone up phenomenally. Second, because both for the economy of scale and technological evolution, shipping has become far, far, far more economic. So this is another tremendous contribution of shipping to the world, to the international trade and world economy. India. Already Mr. Shankar Raghavan has mentioned that India is the main IT service provider to the world at large. But I think we can also take a lot of pride in saying that the Indian seafarers are second to none in the world. We are one of the principal, maritime seafaring personnel provided to the world. Our tonnage, most unfortunately, which is not even 1% of the global tonnage, but we contribute something like 9 to 10%. The government has said that they would like to increase it to about 20% of the entire world seafaring personnel should be from India. And after all, we have, I think, our 1.4 billion population, 1.42 or 43, whatever is the current number, is about 17% of the world population. So our aspiration of having 20% of the seafaring personnel is nothing unrealistic. Because after all, because of our strength in English, because of our strength in ingenuity, Indian minds are very, very ingenious, which is very important in shipping, because there you are dealing with a situation where you are many a times hundreds of thousand miles apart from immediate assistance in terms of technological assistance. So I think our aim to have 20% of the seafarers of the world from India is very realistic, and we should be able to attain that. And after all, I also say this, that India is the only nation in the world after which an ocean has been named. So after all, we should have that pride in us that we are something special when it comes to maritime. Our maritime heritage has been talked about a lot, I won't mention that, but definitely our past glory, if we achieve anywhere near that, I think we will go really miles apart. After all, shipping bridges friendship, so we definitely propagate not only technology, we propagate culture, we propagate education, which India has done all through. And after all, technology is the only way that our growth can be sustainable, not only in maritime, in all industry, in all walks of life. So definitely I think I must congratulate Shaukat and the Naval Connection for this wonderful initiative. And we always say that today every industry is knowledge industry. So these kind of conferences where people meet and share knowledge and expertise is extremely important for going forward. So once again, by congratulating the Naval Connection and particularly my friend Shaukat, I conclude my unscheduled speech. Thank you very much.